T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Welcome to the Play It By Ear podcast, the podcast where the topics may vary because, hey, we play it by ear. And now your hosts, Eric Fiskus and Brady Liming.
Episode 119 of the Play It By Ear podcast.
And a 19. And a 19.
I'm Eric Fiskus. Brady Liming is with us.
Hello.
Sorry we're on late. Circumstances beyond our control, and those circumstances are my water heater is being
Hot water heaters.
Need some hot water, please.
I'm walking here.
All right, so yeah, that's going on in my house. So that's why we're late. So apologies all around. All right.
Now your esteemed host can wash himself in a warm tricklet of water instead of freezing to death.
Well, you know what? It's got to be warm, and don't walk in my bathroom. Keep the door open. Have we gone down this rabbit hole before?
About the post shower door?
Yes.
And
yes.
the frozenness that accompanies?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was at someone's house the other day, and they have like the bathroom fan.
Uh-huh.
But it blows warm air. I need one of those.
Oh. So it's like a hair dryer installed in the ceiling.
Exactly. I need one of those.
That'd be amazing, especially if you get time. I mean, you already have floor vents, but if you could rig up an extra powerful one that's right on the floor so you stand on it, but it doesn't burn your feet. And then the warm air wafts downward from the ceiling dryer.
So I wonder if you could, in the summertime when the air conditioner's on and you turn on the hot fan on top, if you can make clouds in the room.
That's not where I thought you were going with that.
What did you think I was going to say?
Well, when you get out of the shower, and instead of standing on the cold one and this warm one in the summer, you stand over and it's matriculating polar air up your orifices. I thought you were going like the flip side of that discomfort.
Oh, well, no.
That's truly an enigma. Because you know that particular appliance can only be applicable about 8 months a year, maybe not even that.
Probably.
You know, so you got the AC cranked to get out of that shower, and then things are missing.
Indeed. All right. Well, enough of that. All right.
Imagine us going off topic.
Yeah, really. All right. If you've not been with our podcast before, each of us come to the table with a topic. We exhaust said topic, however long that might take. And generally it takes quite a while.
Days.
No, not days. But yeah, hopefully you enjoy it. I am first, Brady's second. We're in the order we are on the screen. So unless you have anything else, Brady, we'll get right to it.
There's Maxwell. Sorry, I didn't have my comments on. Maxwell, hello.
Yeah, we should say hello to me. I forgot to tell everyone in the room. sign in. If you like, we will acknowledge your presence.
Shout, let it all out.
These
You are the
things
peeps we cannot
I
do without.
without. Come on. I'm talking to you.
Come on.
All right. So again, I'm first, Brady. Like I said, unless you have anything else,
Nope.
I'll commence. All right. So it is time once again for TIFU. Today I bleeped up. Today I effed up. All right. Once
Today I
again,
messed up.
yeah, messed up. So just to kind of refresh your memories, TIFU is a subreddit on the Reddit website. Of course, Reddit is a place where people go. It's kind of like a message board sort of place. And the subreddits are just the different channels there. And TIFU has its own channel. So these little vignettes. I love that. Don't you love that word, vignette?
I do. Makes me sound so polished.
Yeah.
Here, I'm going to do a TikTok. No. You do that, child, and I will make vignettes.
So yeah. These vignettes come from the TIFU subreddit. All right.
That tickled me.
So the first one for the evening, TIFU by living in a dark bedroom for 6 years. All right. The overhead fan in our bedroom uses one of those compact halogen light bulbs. 6 years ago, the bulb burned out and got really dim, just barely a glow. I bought a replacement bulb, but when I put that one in, it was also barely lighting up, so I realized the unit was bad. The fan still worked great in all capital letters. Great!
Great fan.
Like Tony the Tiger. Great!
The surly sounding Tony.
Yeah. It literally is the best fan I've ever had because it moves a ton of air and is super quiet. The fan had also been a gift when we moved into our house. The unit cost over $400, so I didn't really want to replace it, even though our bedroom doesn't get much natural light, so it is pretty dark. So since then, over the years, my wife and I have had to make do with no overhead light. We open the windows during the day, and at night we use a combination of bedside lamps and the bathroom light. It's never really as good of lighting as an overhead lamp, so I keep some flashlights up there for when we are cleaning or looking for something, etc. After 6 years of living in the dark, this winter I just decided I would replace the damn thing. But before I did, I decided to try one last time with another bulb because, however unlikely, it's possible both bulbs I had tried were bad. So I'm up there installing the new bulb, grab the remote. The fan has a remote. And as I'm turning the light on, I realize the GD thing is dimmable. For 6 effing years, we lived with the inconvenience of no overhead light. And the whole time it was just because the damn thing was set to dim. F me. How about that?
Oh, I'm laughing because I relate, and I can see me doing something like that.
Sure.
But no, I'm laughing heartily because in that moment where that person realized it, the invective and the spewing of what would be coming out of their mouths would have been epic. Casting O's upon the progeny of the fan and the dimmer switch.
Now, I, like you, could see myself doing something to this effect. However, you knew the fan had a remote. Did you not look at said remote anytime that you used it?
Okay. In today's world, though, I can sympathize with this a smidge. I put one of these. I didn't want it hardwired and everything, but I got this awesome install light that just snaps like Velcros to the top in my closet. because the unit went bad in my closet and it's covered over by the new organizer. Hence, I got this unit, and you can just tap it, but it also has a remote. So in case if I'm in bed and I want to put a little bit of colored LED
Right.
as I'm listening to my sleep app,
Yes.
but I haven't seen it because I never use it. When I get up, I just tap it if I need to get something out of my closet. So I think that's why I'm identifying with this even more, because I've put a lot of gadgetry in my house recently, over the last couple of years like that.
Right. Still, I find it very far-fetched that you did not look at the remote and see that there's a dimmer on it. I don't know. 6 years.
That's a long time.
Ready to take the fan off the ceiling. 6 years.
Oh.
And I'm assuming he had already bought another fan. So
Oh, yeah. He could take it back.
Yeah. All right. TIFU number 2. TIFU by spending the last year on Reddit talking to myself after being muted. All right. So again, Reddit is a message board. So you go on, you type messages, and it's kind of like a chat room sort of thing, and people respond to your little, once again, vignettes, and give their opinion or their whatever, their review of it or whatever you want to say. All right, so this guy by the name of user BUFGER Buffker.
Bouger.
All right. Today was the day I realized I messed up by not realizing sooner that by not realizing sooner and just thinking my content was shit. For the last 12 months, I've been commenting on people's posts. I've created my own posts. I haven't had a single upvote or replied to anything. My karma has been at 885 for as long as so karma, that's how people kind of rate you on Reddit. Because karma has been at 885 for as long as I can remember. So I just figured I wasn't very interesting. Still likely true. Last month, I started to try to see my own posts through guest accounts and figure out they were not showing. I could clearly see my comments and posts on my account. Anyway, I finally mailed the help team and found out that my IP was accidentally mixed in with some action to take out spammers. If you can see this, it's all sorted out now. And if you can't, I'm still on my own little Truman show. If you're procrastinating, let's face it, feel free to go through my post history and verify any lack of human engagement. So the guy was muted. He didn't know it. So that's just a lesson. That's not really funny.
No.
Sometimes the technology works well when it works, and you got to make sure everything is in line. But all right. Next one. Now this is funny. All right. TIFU by lying to my wife for 13 years. Now, nothing heavy. All right. My wife hates orange and lime flavored candies.
That's good to know.
I love them. Well, love the orange, like the lime. So she passes on the orange Starburst to me. She passes the orange and green Skittles to me. She passes the orange and green gummy bears to me. This has been happening for 13 years. What she doesn't know is that the green Haribo gummy bears are actually strawberry. Shortly after we married, for one reason or another, I looked back on the back of the Haribo gummy bears package and discovered this. So I haven't said anything for
Good, he looked at the package.
Yeah, right. So I haven't said anything for 13 years. Every time we get gummy bears, she gives me the orange and green strawberry. I've never said a word, and I enjoyed eating my little lies. Until last night. We had some gummy bears, and she opened them, and she started to hand me the orange and green ones. But after a few minutes, I saw her looking at the back of the bag, and then I saw her eyes get real big. She turned to me and asked if I've known that the green bears were strawberry. She always thought they were lime. I was honest, and I nodded my head yes. The look of betrayal was unreal. She asked how long I've known, and I was honest. I told her as long as we've been married. She quit giving me the gummy bears she didn't like. She was even eating the orange ones out of spite. I don't think I'll get any more gummy bear discards after this. Time to buy my own. All right. Edit. We don't eat these every day, a few times a year at most. I just don't get the rejects. It's a shared bag. Whenever she grabs a few, she would pick out the orange and green and hand to me, just like I would give the pineapple to her. Blah. So sometimes they'll get back into it after people have commented, like, dude, are you just taking the rejects on? Or so no, it's a shared bag. Living a lie for 13 years, taking the strawberry. Why would strawberry be green?
You're not eating the leafery. You know, that's the part you lob off before you make something edible out of it.
All right. I'm gonna read this one, which is also funny, but and it's because of the word that's used in it. An article. I don't know if you call it an article of clothing or whatever it is, but TIFU by wearing a shawl, which ruined my relationship with my girlfriend.
Oh, it's a gentleman, I'm assuming. I don't mean to.
Yeah, gentleman. Yeah.
They make man shawls? Malls? I don't know.
So just listen to the story. Okay. Minor background. I am pretty affectionate and at times effeminate dude. I'm 6'2". I have a pretty tough guy background in that I was in special forces a while ago, and my roommates all served as well, but I also have thin wrists and sit on my friends' laps and blow kisses to them. I am just me. All right. So while I was in a shop with a roommate a few weeks ago, he saw these really cool shawls that we both couldn't get out of our heads.
I know.
We've all been there, right?
Yeah.
All right. He returned last weekend to buy them, and now we have these shawls. Mine makes me look like a Star Wars character, and his looks like the outlaw Josie Wales. These are seriously awesome shawls.
I think we need to make play it by ear man shawls.
Yeah, with the big logo on it. I like it. I'd buy one.
As you sit on my lap and blow kisses to me.
Yeah. All right. First night we wore them. Everyone at the dive bar we went to, dudes, thought they were awesome as well. Then this girl and her friend arrive on invite from Shawl Bro. He's calling his friend Shawl Bro. And they are seriously turned off by our sweet shawls.
Give me the sweet shawl.
Like
sweet shawl of mine.
Like acting pretty weird about them and making comments. Whatever. So I get a call from my girlfriend. She's tired and wants to hang out at my house. So I bid these mean girls and Shawl Bro adieu and head home. I'm still wearing the shawl when my girlfriend arrives. And she's also really taken aback. She won't even kiss me until I take it off. She won't even talk to me until I take it off. And she's really serious and aggressive about it.
Anti-shawlists.
Anyway, she gets weird and leaves, and then sends me a text later about how she's sorry and needs to think about what kind of man she wants, and then doesn't contact me for days. So yesterday I invite her out. She's stumbling over her words and talking about how she likes tough guys and how she grew up in the South and needs to get used to the big city, but that she doesn't know this or that. And eventually I just tell her very politely, I won't say the words he said, to go away or to get blanked, because I'm pretty insulted by this point. On the way back, now I'm not directly in front of her. I get this long apologetic text from her, but the crux of it is that, yeah, she's just not into me anymore because I wore a shawl.
The shawl crux.
Later on, I tell Shawl Bro about this. He also had a blowout with the girl he was seeing over his shawl the same night we went out.
What if Shaw Bro shanked the other girlfriend, and then you would have the Shawshank Redemption?
I see what you did there. Nicely done.
Thank you.
So we're both going to keep wearing the shawls, though they are warm.
I have so many questions. Before I do, hey, Maxwell, yes, it is December 7th, Pearl Harbor anniversary today. Not to be a buzzkill, but I didn't want him to think we were ignoring him. I just kind of looked up and saw it.
Yeah, right. Yes,
so anyway.
Yes, there are, on that note, just a little diversion, but 2 sailors still alive that were on the boat. Involved in the bombing there. So yeah, the one I heard a comment today from was 101 years old. So,
it's
amazing.
Yeah,
to live through that and then live to be 101. But anyway,
yeah. So back to shawls.
Back to shawls.
Dude, I've wore some items of clothing to be funny before and just silly.
Yeah.
But I did take some heat from the people in my household about my 3/4 length soccer trainers.
Yeah.
You've got capris. I say, no, they're 3/4 length soccer trainers because they were good to do my physical therapy and where I could see my calf, my svelte calves flex. And but anyway, no, but I kind of got a lot of crap about that. Not to the degree of the shawl, but I feel their pain.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, you always were a very fashionable sort of dude.
Well, thank you.
You wore things I wouldn't wear. Let's put that not in a bad way. But.
Oh, now come on! I about had you talked into the backless chaps that one day. I'm kidding, folks.
I was going to say you could pull some things off that I couldn't, but not based upon that previous remark.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Third TIFU, and again, you talk about when we relate, maybe not so much to the shawls. We relate to the first one. Probably can relate to this one too. TIFU, confiscating my son's Game Boy and hiding it for 18 years.
Oh, wow. that took a direction I wasn't expecting.
My son was not doing his homework, so I confiscated his GBA. I don't know what the Game Boy
Advance.
Something. Okay, sure. We'll go with that. I told him he would get it back next week. Well, he's a pretty clever dude, knew all of my hiding places, so I put it someplace he would never look. Except, oh man, this is a little bit of a downer, not too much. Except I suffered a TBI a few years earlier, and I forget stuff. Traumatic brain injury.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So when he did his homework and asked for it back next week, or after a week, I could not find it. Arg, I looked everywhere. Narrator. Obviously not everywhere. Then we moved house and I still didn't find it. SpongeBob, 18 years later, I was donating some coats I had not worn in a long time. In the pocket of a Viennese trench coat from the 1930s, I found his Game Boy Advance. and it turned on and it worked.
Oh, get out.
Pokemon appeared. I put fresh batteries into it and handed it to my 28-year-old son, who proceeded to laugh for a good 5 minutes. Then he played it for a few hours, then proceeded to tell my wife and other adult children how silly I was. And once again, we can all relate.
Um, uh, not to that degree, but that happened in this house where Ridge got into some slightly warmer than room temperature water about some homework, so took the Roku out of his room,
Right.
and be darned if hit it real quick because he's wise to the spots.
Yeah.
And couldn't find it. Couldn't find the darn thing for about 3-4 weeks.
Right.
So it was finally found.
It was found. So
It was found, yeah.
Won't be lost for 18 years. I mean, with a Roku, I mean, you don't know what kind of technology will be around in 18 years.
Exactly.
Roku may not work in 18 years. So.
Shoot, yeah. I mean, for Pete's sake, try America Online.
Yeah. All right. Next one. And this one's for the ladies.
This one's for the ladies.
It's for the ladies. TIFU by jumping into a lake in my bra/panties to save a man that turned out to be an elite military scuba diver in training. I'm couch surfing with my sister and her boyfriend. I work for him at the lakeside bar, trying to pay for college. My state is open, and while I'm not thrilled, I need both the job and my scored. Now she says open. That's based upon the COVID thing. So my state is open while I'm not thrilled. I need both the job and my scored sofa accommodations to make it work. To give them their space and myself a break from the doom scrolling, I take a run by the lake in the mornings. Lake is she says bomb ass. I guess that's good. And draws scuba divers to the flooded town at the bottom. The flooded town at the bottom of this lake. That's interesting. All right. Today I was in my own head running when a dark mass floated to the surface 40 feet away. I was on the craggy side of the lake, and this dude looked dead. DEAD. Facing away from me, his head was tipped back, eyes closed, bobbing like a fishing lure. No one else was around, so I thought he was quantum crazy out here, scuba diving alone at the crack ass of dawn, giving himself the bends or some nonsense. Like a jackass, I didn't yell at him to check in. Instead, I towed off my shoes, stripped my skivvies to save the imbecile. The movie trailer in my head had me taking 3 glorious steps and launching into the deep blue water, Black Widow style. Instead, my tender feet hit the sharp rocks, and I contorted under the pain like a slinky as I uncoordinatedly pitched myself into the water, doing a side flop. I was also wearing my contacts, so I swam hard in his direction with my eyes closed. When I opened them, he was dead ass staring at me like I'd lost my ever-loving mind, so I blurted, "Are you okay?" He removed the regulator and incredulously said yes. My brain blue screened while I tread water. The lake felt infinitely deep. Before I could terrify myself by hearing the Jaws theme song, I turned to nope the hell out of there. Yelling over my shoulder, "I thought you needed saving," to explain my idiocy. As I pivoted, another dude cleared his throat from 30 feet away on the other side. I never heard a sound from him, so I freaked out, failing and belting an ear-wounding scream at him. Both asshats laughed as a few more heads surfaced around us. I was surrounded by divers, all wildly entertained by my ridiculous high-octane FU. After pointing to me and the beach, the merman, that was my original target, cautiously swam toward me after I nodded and escorted me to the shore. The beach was much further than I anticipated, so I was trying to low-key breathe, hiding my need to suck all the O2 from the air. Also, the comedy of the situation consumed me, and I started to giggle. Finally, I joked, "Dude, you are lucky you weren't actually dying, because it would have taken everything I have to drag your sorry ass this far." He chuckled before offering me a tow. Hell no, not going to happen. Even if I had dog paddle, I would not openly accept that defeat. He quietly mocked me the rest of the way to the shore. I'm a secret sap for it. There were cadets or recent graduates from a military college here for the summer. They've been training in pools and doing some open water exercises. They had been out there for at least part of the night. I'm sure I blew up whatever drill they were running. He's training for pre-dive school, and since I'm an expert Googler, I'm guessing that means combat diving. At the shore, I did my best to throw my shoulders back and march out of the water in my sports bra and undies in front of what I can only imagine are some pretty badass men. I did invite him and his clandestine crew for an absurdly overpriced beer at the bar tonight after shame jogging back into the woods for my clothes. She's a good writer.
She is. That story, I forgot I was like actually on a podcast. I was just like listening to this story enthralled. That is. See, I can't say that she messed up.
Yeah.
She saw a situation and tried to make the world a better place.
Yeah, I mean,
she saved them. And
did she get herself in an embarrassing situation? Yes.
Sure, but that's a heck of a story.
Yeah.
I mean, she's not lying when she said she, tried to save a combat diver. She could just leave it at that. And then the rest of his compadres showed up, and there was no need to save him anymore.
Right.
Wow.
All right.
Maxwell, hold on. You still have not found your Emperor Palpatine. So just chime in when you can. Was Emperor Palpatine taken from you for punishment? Or you misplaced him?
Yeah,
Next, Eric.
Did you misplace your own Emperor Palpatine?
Yes.
Or are you trying to find your parents' hiding place? It'll be in the Viennese trench coat from 30 years ago.
Trench coat.
All right, next one. This one's for my wife, the alcohol part, but the tipping part. TIFU tipping 140% to a pizza delivery driver. Ooh. My buddy and I ordered pizza last night, unaware that I already paid with my debit card. I walked to my door at $30 and give him a 20% tip on top of that, which had been paid online. The driver was in his mid-30s, barely spoke English, and he was driving a beat-up car. He said, "Thank you," very enthusiastically, which made me realize in about 2 seconds I just gave him double the money for the order, which he would obviously receive as a tip. I was about ready to admit my mistake and ask for the money back before I saw his reaction while he was walking to his car. He had a smile from ear to ear, like he had found the cure for COVID or struck gold or something. He even did this little mini jump before he hopped into his car. I'm not exactly Bill Gates. I still have debts to pay, but I'm glad I blanked up to help someone who needed the money more than I did.
There you go.
Anyways, I felt pretty dumb after, but the joy I saw in that man made my week. Not a very interesting story, but pretty cool for me, as my dad moved to Canada from across the world with only a bike and a few $100.
Wow.
So there you go. Not funny, but a feel-good
cool
story.
Yeah. Hitching the feels.
All right. Trying to find the next one I marked here.
While you're looking, Maxwell, I'm sorry that the Emperor is still MIA.
Yes.
Tooken.
All right.
Technology glitch.
Yes. Here it is. Okay. TIFU by obliterating my wife's fish. Happened last night. Wife's 8-year-old very large goldfish was passing away, had dropsy, was suffering, and was on the verge of death. Wife and I looked into the symptoms, and there was practically no hope of him making a recovery, so she asked me to euthanize him. Looking into the methods, it seemed pretty agreed upon that the most effective way to euthanize a fish was blunt force trauma. Now, when I was a kid, my family were huge anglers, and I was designated as the fish killer when it was time to cook them.
Didn't I reference a tuna bat earlier in the night?
Yes. Back then, I was told to slam them on the ground as hard as I could. Well, my 8-year-old body wasn't strong enough to kill them instantaneously, so I had to do it multiple times. Honestly, kind of screwed me up a little. Flash forward to last night. I didn't want that happening again, and I wanted it to be painless. I asked my wife to leave the room because she was very mad. I chose to lead by putting the fish in a plastic grocery bag and slamming it on the counter as hard as I possibly could. The poor fish was obliterated. The force
Fish
ripped open
sticks.
the bag and sprayed bits of what used to be goldfish in every direction. Told my wife to stay upstairs, and she started getting suspicious, so she comes down after 5 minutes and is just everywhere still. On the counter, on the stove, on the fridge, on the freaking Christmas tree we still have up. I was still finding pieces of it this morning. Wife was aghast and traumatized. Cried until she went to bed.
Wow. I have nothing on that.
Nor
that's a mess
do
up.
I. But you see the
Yeah.
Christmas tie in there with the Christmas tree.
Yeah, it was an unintentional mess up, which should give him some, free pass. He had no idea that was going to happen. But dang, it wasn't like a mackerel or anything. It was a goldfish, Yeah. It's kind of grossed me out.
Brady, this one's for you.
Uh-oh.
TIFU by giving my dog unintentionally the best damn day of his life. So this TIFU isn't as crazy or as wild as the others I've read, but I thought others would appreciate how much I'm laughing, but how many horrible regrets I have over this situation. Let me start by saying it's important to note that whenever I cook hot dogs, I slice the package, take out a few, roll the rest back up in the plastic packaging, and fasten it all with some good old-fashioned elastic bands. Today, I did not. I couldn't tell you why my dumb ass decided just to fold the plastic over a few times and back on the shelf. But so my spouse comes running down in their few minutes between endless meetings to make their lunch quickly. We are the only two in the house, plus our little rescue dog, who is a stray and an absolute mooch. I mean, this dog would weave between your feet, eyes glued to the floor, hoping for every single speck of crumb, because woe is him. He's never been fed a day in his life. So we're all in the kitchen. I hear the fridge open, and suddenly it dawns on me in horror that my spouse is most definitely going to go for those hot dogs I wrapped like a dumbass. I quickly turn around to say something, and my spouse in slow motion, wide-eyed, stares at me as the hot dog package unrolls like a Fruit by the Foot commercial and douses my dog's entire skull in too much to be reasonable in one blanking package of hot dog water. My dog loses his blank. Like a Christian grandma with the second coming of Christ, my dog just tears ass across the entire apartment with the worst case of zoomies I think we've ever seen him have. He proceeds to spend the next 15 minutes singing our praises as the greatest humans alive as he rolls across every piece of furniture we own. I'm talking every piece of furniture. Periods after the word. Now, I don't hate hot dogs, but the smell is weirdly overpowering. And every time I sat down on something else, all I can smell is godforsaken hot dogs. My dog
Oh.
loves it, though. And now I'm figuring out how to shampoo out hot dog water from my life. I have so many regrets.
I can just see that dog doing the laps with its face all stretched back. Oh, God.
That was a good one.
I see. I thought it was going to be like the hot dogs themselves. I was not expecting the hot dog water angle.
See, now the first time I read it, I was expecting the hot dogs too. But yeah, that was a new. And I mean, what would the dog? Yeah, I mean, obviously the water smells like hot dogs. But I mean, what was he? Was he like licking his fur and stuff? Was he like, or was he just engrossed in the smell of?
I mean, I'm thinking about those places that smell so good when you walk in. That just like it overpowers your senses and just magnify that. Like, oh, you smell those cinnamon rolls. Like, my gosh, those cinnamon rolls, and you start like moshing about. It's the best I got.
Yeah.
Oh man.
All right, let's do.
Doing a little pre-screening.
And I'm still same thing. I marked these. And I can't remember how I marked them. There's one in here I'd read before about the courtroom.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh, here we go. This one. This is good because I believe. I don't know if you've been on this in this situation, but I believe the situation has gone through all of our minds at this very moment. Every time this thing happens.
Yeah.
All right. TIFU by not kissing a girl at a college football game on national television. All right. So there's a video going around of the Wake versus Duke football game of a girl leaning in to kiss a guy and him not returning the kiss and looking away. That guy is me. I've gotten texts from high school friends I haven't talked to in years, random college classmates, and my sister and mom who have all seen the video. I'm going to take this brief moment of internet fame to explain what exactly happened. Basically, I've been talking to this girl for a while, and we just started dating about a week ago. I tell her she should come to the Wake game since we are undefeated and probably will win. She says yes. We go with a group of friends. We're having a great time. Throughout the game, we are flirting, hugging, kissing a little bit, etc. We also do this thing where one of us leans in for a kiss and the other person leans away, which is an inside joke between the two of us. So we did our inside joke thing against us. We are being recorded. After the game, I find out I'm on the Wake Forest Old Row Instagram page, and within the hour, I'm on the official Old Row page. Then I'm on TikTok, Twitter, and apparently Reddit too. Just to clarify a few things. 1, she did not get rejected. We were just playing around. 2, we did not know we were being recorded. 3, if you want proof, check our TikTok accounts. 4, it was her first, maybe last, college football game. Anyway, the internet is full of horrible people, and I haven't done any work this weekend, so I'm going to go do that now. Peace. Edit. I'm using a throwaway so people don't read my past post history, not to hide my identity for all those asking. So.
He probably took a fair amount of guff about that.
No, because that's what the internet does, you know?
Yeah.
People see something and they just make a assumption.
Yeah. Yep,
So,
and
yeah.
you know what they say.
What they say about assuming.
I was trying to make him acronym out of assumption. But anyway, all right. So is it time for me to is it time for me to take over, or are you gonna do another
Yeah,
one?
yeah, it's time, but we got to do
It's time.
got to do an advertisement
Yeah.
first of the website. Visit www.playbyyourpodcast.com. Find out about our show buy t-shirt. Click on the store link in the menu at the top of the page. Scroll down, click on the picture of the t-shirt, and that will take you to buymeacoffee.com, where you can buy said t-shirt, which is our crowdsourcing platform, and we will deliver it to you. It's a good Christmas gift.
Yes.
You know an earbud in your life. Buy them a shirt.
Yes. Tis the season to be an earbud.
Yes.
Which, speaking of tis this season, buy it as a gift for somebody is a perfect segue into my topic for the night. So we are approaching that season. Everybody's, doing their Christmas shopping and Hanukkah shopping.
Right.
And so anyway, this year, the year 2022. Weird Christmas gifts for your favorite fruitcakes. So basically, these are some strange gifts that are out there. Now, I don't want this to be confused with a topic we did I did a few weeks ago about weird things to buy on Amazon. This is seasonal. This is the holiday shopping, and this comes from the HuffPost, which I didn't know still existed.
Yeah.
So
It does.
Anyway, so here we go in no particular order. Musical toilet paper rolls. So a person, so basically the each roll has a little chip in it, like those birthday cards or whatever. So it is a musical toilet paper roll.
So I'm gonna show a picture of this because obviously I don't know the tunes that come out of these toilet paper rolls. What I find more humorous is the little pictures of the faces on the toilet rolls.
Yeah.
So you got
My gosh.
of course, and for those who are in audio land, the actual toilet paper roll, if you're looking at it sideways, the tube is the mouth, and then they've put little faces on these.
Like it's surprised.
Or in great harmony.
All right. So the next one. Bacon scented wrapping paper. And this this wrapping paper is decorated with strips of bacon. So you could give the gift, it's all wrapped, and it also smells like, and they quote, freshly. Wait a minute. Okay, no, I'm sorry. I misread it. I thought it said it smells of freshly uncooked bacon, but no, they were just saying that doesn't make a good gift. But for those who love bacon, and many of us do, bacon scented wrapping paper.
All right, so just imagine for a moment. So either you're putting gifts under a tree, you're going to someone's house with a bunch of gifts that you've put into a bag of some sort. You send said gift through the mail. Imagine the overpowering smell of bacon that would overtake everything in said bag, under said tree, in said mailing package if you wrapped a gift in this paper.
Yeah, that would be, especially if it's seeped in, so that the sweater that you were gifted smells like Oscar Mayer bacon. That would be an unfortunate cologne.
It would.
All right. The next on the list. This is going to be a fun one. So before I tell you what it is, I'm going to tell you how it's used. It says hosting people for the holidays can be fun, but not when they insist on using bathrooms other than the ones designated for company. So an intruder in the emperor's throne is what they're getting at. So so anyway, to keep this problem from happening, there is an attachment, and it's called the toilet snake, which looks like a live coiled rattlesnake that sits on the toilet seat. So when somebody turns on the light, they're going to see this angry serpent to keep them from conducting commerce in a bank that is not theirs. So
and now that picture looks like it's floating on the toilet water. It's not sitting on the lid.
Okay, yeah, I get it.
So do you, unless there's some like clear whatever that you put under the seat?
Well, see, I bet that's the case because if they don't want anybody even thinking they'll, what do you call it, pull one over and pee around the snake. And then if there's clear plastic, that's going to rattle back on in, and you'll have to do the walk of urine shame.
So the picture shows the seat up. So do you
Yes.
suppose you can put the seat down if you pull up the seat?
It would
snake
spring
pops
load it.
out?
Then you're going to have a mess the other way that was intended for where it was supposed to go.
Oh, nice.
All I can think about is I terrified my poor mother one time with a with a rubber snake, and it hit her fear factor a little bit too much. She almost felt a little faint, and I felt really bad. So I'm afraid that would just make my poor mom, flip on the light, and there's that thing. Worse yet, if it's spring loaded. That's a pretty boy, that is somebody that really is committed to the idea of their personal bathroom privacy and sanctity.
And you know what? I'm one with that. I'm with that.
I think I would want to take it over the top, like a whole sea serpent. It doesn't even look like a realistic snake. It just looks like a head of a dragon or a brontosaurus coming out of there.
Brontosaurus.
Okay, and the next weird gift, and I don't think you have to show a picture of this because, especially since most of our audio, it's a fine art version of the woman yelling at cat meme. So everybody has seen it where the woman, and I forget which crappy reality show it originally came from, but where the one lady's yelling
isn't one of those ladies like Cameron Diaz?
What?
I think one of those ladies is Cameron Diaz. Is that from a movie or something?
Oh, it might be. I thought it was from a reality show. Like
maybe it is.
Hollywood Wives of, or one of those wives of, insert the name of the Tony District. But anyway, it's redone, or the lady yelling at cat meme, but it's done in like ancient, like Japanese artwork, and it's very stylized. So the idea is silly but fun.
I guess beauty's in the eye of the beholder there.
Exactly. This one does a personalized gift wrapping. So it says for your favorite narcissist, so you can have their face put on wrapping paper. I'm gonna skip the next one. Combination koozie fishing pole. So it's like a koozie for your adult beverage or soda, but in that koozie there is like a fishing line and everything, so you could fish literally while you're consuming your beverage. Now, I think this would be something that is cooler sounding than the actual practicality and usage of it.
I mean, you can drink while trying to catch a fist anyway. Right? Why do you need to have your line connected to your can?
I think this is just some engineering. It's a novelty, but it's also, it's a novelty, but it's not, if that makes any sense.
Well, there's the picture. I mean, you can see it there, but
yeah.
I don't know. I'm all about maybe a weird gift, but that's not even practical enough to be useful.
No, it's just in theory. It's just in theory. So the next one is the ugly Christmas sweater, but this one takes it to a new level. It's a light up peeing Santa. So Santa is on the rooftop and he is relieving himself off the house. And the urine stream is highlighted by LED lights. I really don't even have the words. I mean, I have an absurd sense of humor.
Would you wear that?
No, I wouldn't. See, I feel the same about this as I did those stupid yard ornaments where the person's bent over, or they had the little kid like statue that figurine, and it looked like he was peeing, or just just the artwork in general, like those European fountains, where the peeing child in the fountain, like ooh. I have a sense of humor, but it does not extend to this one. I mean, I'm not being a party pooper, but I wouldn't wear it.
Party pooper. Your party has one.
Well, speaking of which, you can't make this up, folks. You've heard of soap on a rope. But for that really special someone for Christmas this year, you could get poop soap on a rope. So it is soap on a rope, but it looks like feces. And it has a string through it.
So I wonder what it smells like.
Well, I mean, nobody's going to want feces-scented soap, fee soap. But
I'm guessing it doesn't smell like that, but what does it smell like?
Well, I mean, probably you name it. First thing that I don't know. I don't know.
And I wonder if when you rub it on yourself, does it come off brown on your?
That's just gross, man. No, but like literally, okay, I get it if it's a novelty gift, but I'm visiting someone's shower and that's in there. I'm probably not going to be using that shower. Because
that's the real reason you ran away from Louisville, Kentucky at 6 a.m, wasn't it? You found the poop soap on a rope in the shower.
Yeah,
I believe that was episode 3. So if you want to hear the story of Brady and his venturing to Louisville to reconnect with a girl he thought was going to be romantic, but turned out to be hanging out with her and her boyfriend
and the cousin,
which was not a girl, right?
No, I was being fixed up for the cousin, and let's just say that wasn't going to be happening. Unlike this next one. We really don't, but it is this kind of irritates me, but this one's kind of funny. But it's a sexy elf on a shelf costume. But it just, that irritates me at Halloween time when they'll just take any costume and they'll add sexy to the title of it and kind of make it, risque.
Right.
But needless to say, I don't think many will be leaving her on the shelf. Okay. Let's see. There's ugly Christmas sweater koozies. That says enough. Says it all. But let's go to the next one, Eric. You can pull this up. The Tubble. You could get that special person, the Tubble. Basically what it is, it's like a hot tub, but it's for the great outdoors. And it's like inflatable, and it looks like a bathtub that could be preheated, like a hot tub, like a portable Coleman camping hot tub.
So again, for the benefit of our audio listeners, this is like Brady said, an inflatable tub, and in the picture, it's sitting out in the middle of, I don't know, it's a meadow or something.
Montana. Minnesota.
There's like snow on the ground, and his guy's sitting in his inflatable tub reading a book, in the snow.
Right before he's mauled by a bear who wants to know who's already preheated the soup.
Or some
No.
moose that comes up charging the inflatable tub.
Hey, I was talking about mooses today.
Meese.
Meese. Was talking about my friend Kirsten, like when her dad came, when we were in high school, her dad came back from a hunting trip in Canada. And it's like, well, some smell good. I was like, oh, that smells good. And it was sloppy moose. Made out of moose meat.
Moose meat.
All right.
Moose.
Sloppy moose. All right. Speaking of food, this is cheese. It's cheddar cheese, but it is shapen in the shape of a cell phone. So if you have somebody that likes to talk on their phone a lot but loves dairy products, here you go.
Like, who comes up with this stuff?
I don't know.
And who actually buys it?
Well, I mean, once again, there's novelty, but like, no, I think some left-handed cigarettes were consumed when they were sitting around the boardrooms. Like, you know what we need? Cheese cell phones, dude. And then it just happened, and they thought it was a good idea.
So.
Let's see. You could get goggles for your dog. I get or like sunglasses, but it's got dog costumery. But what the heck? Baby hand candles. So there are candles that are shaped like little baby hands. But
including one that is a baby hand
flipping the baby bird. Anyway, making the metal sign and the peace sign and the Bronx sign. We'll skip right through the sexy Grinch costume. But although she is an attractive lass, she kind of looks like molded celery. Now the next one has some promise. You've heard of beer pong, but you could get that special gift, deer pong, where it is a plastic deer with antlers, and the antlers is holding the cup for the ping pong ball when you're playing the adult beverage game.
So there are 3 red receptacles for ping pong balls, and there are 3. What color is that? Orange receptacles. And as Brady said, on the antlers.
Yeah, kind of nifty. Now, this next one, I am going to confess, once it sat in on me what it was, I couldn't breathe for about 2 minutes. So, here is the gift. It is a toothbrush that gets all the teeth at once. So, if you can imagine one of like those mouth guards, but you just put it in your whole mouth, like and then you brush all of your teeth at once.
So how much toothpaste do you have to use with this thing?
Well, I guess no. You technically wouldn't have to use more. You would just have to thinly slice and dice it. You would take the amount that you would normally use and you would cut it into strips.
Because it looks like this guy in the picture has slathered it on there pretty thick.
Yeah, it looks like he was expecting many cavity creeps. But like to me, this just seems like it screams of laziness.
We make holes in teeth.
This probably would, because like, and I'll tell you why. Because part of the art of toothbrushing is that you can get the quick commando strike of each tooth's enamel. With that one, that's just like a big old. Would you rather have a hug, or would you rather have a group hug? So that
That's a
multi-toothbrush.
that's a good analogy.
Thank you. It gives your teeth a little bit of love in a group hug, but it doesn't do the job.
Right.
Not that tooth to brush intimacy that it requires. All right. Going right along, a sniff relief mask, which kind of looks like Batman's cowl a little bit without a headgear and ears, but it looks like a Lone Ranger mask, but it just it could be heated or cooled.
It is an interesting look.
It is an
You see the
interesting
picture
look.
there.
See, these exist already. I don't know what makes this one special.
Yeah, I've seen those for years, I think.
Yeah, I don't know what, you know. There's a flamingo beverage tub, and when I say beverage tub, just think of a little, kind of think about when you go to a convenience store and they used to have the soda cans. They look like giant soda cans with ice in them, and they just stuck them in the ice. But it's a flamingo beverage tub, which is novel. But now this next one disturbs me. It makes me chuckle, but in a dark way. But it is the True Crime Ugly Christmas Sweater. This murder-themed ugly Christmas sweater will keep true crime buffs warm. So it's got things, like crime scene tape and a judge's gavel and all kinds of a crime scene. So it's an ugly Christmas sweater, but it gets a little bit morbid.
Very morbid. People being murdered on this sweater.
Yeah. I thought I was edgy by having a Ric Flair ugly Christmas sweater.
Woo!
Woo! So the Christmas tree cat cape, which
who doesn't need that?
Who doesn't need that? But why is it cat? That's speciest. Because my small dog would fit in that cape too, so it could be a pet cape.
Speciest.
I'm being a little bit ridiculous here. There is a Johnny Rotten jigsaw puzzle. So if you're a fan of the Sex Pistols,
yeah.
All right. Now this one, their birthday
practicality.
You talk about hitting a market. So it is birthday candles that double as joints.
You see what they're called? Birthdays.
So oh my, that is very clever. But anyway, I don't know. This is not my wheelhouse or area, but I don't know how one would use that to smoke their flower and contraband.
So it shows a like a candle on top of this other thing that's stuck down in a cupcake. So do you smoke the end that's stuck in the cupcake?
I guess so. And then when the fabled munchies hit, you've already got that cupcake in hand.
I guess so.
Yeah. It's kind of like those super smart, brilliant Girl Scouts that set up their Girl Scout cookie shop by the medical pot dispensary. Okay, there is an eye massager. It kind of looks, Eric does have to pull it up, but it kind of looks like a VR, like a virtual reality thing.
Yep.
And it massages your eyes.
Did you see the description below the picture? It says, "What you doing? Massaging my eyes. How's it feel? Well, it's not something I saw myself ever doing before in getting this great gift."
I see what they did there.
Yeah.
Oh, now the next one, I wouldn't mind getting these. They're Hulk Hogan slippers. So they're basically you slip your foot at the part, but there's like a what do you call it? Like the front of a ship, mastheads of Hulk
Yeah.
Hogan.
Right. Ripping his shirt.
Yes. Brother. So there's the reindeer hat for pets. That's nothing new. I'm kind of going quickly through these next couple because they don't warrant a lot of attention. The pillow cube. It is for the people that sleep on their side. Now, I am a side sleeper, but all I can think of is this pillow cube. I think that hard edge would hit me right in my windpipe while I slept. It would torque my trachea.
Torque your trachea.
But
Cannot have bad windpipery when you're sleeping.
windpipery.
Windpipery.
Oh, but so the next one, I'm a huge Kevin Smith fan, but this is from, I forget which movie. I believe it is, it'll come to me, but Jay and Silent Bob and the Buddy Jesus. So it's Jesus as a smiling, you the man, and it's called the Buddy Jesus. Kirsten, if you're out there, I got you a Buddy Jesus one time for Christmas for your home. I just wondered if Buddy Jesus has been lost. There are socks that says Jolly AF.
But the Jolly AF is on the bottom of your foot.
It's on the bottom. So
how would anyone know how jolly you were?
That is true. And if they're smelling your barking dogs, they're not going to be very jolly. So, I think they just think they're being edgy with the AF, which does not stand for after Finland. Speaking of Finland,
yeah,
to go with the sexy Grinch and the sexy elf on the shelf, we have the sexy snowflake, which looks like a costume from Ice Capades.
Well, there's a term I haven't heard in 45 years.
Yep. There's a couple things three things you could count on. At Riverfront Coliseum, there'd be Ice Capades, there'd be the Longhorn Rodeo, and there'd be the monster trucks.
And Harlem Globetrotters.
And the Harlem Globetrotters. That is correct.
So now I have to look this up. Do they still have Ice Capades?
I don't think so.
A decline in popularity ensued in the 1980s, and the show went out of business around 1995.
Yeah. Everybody just been there and done that.
Yep.
There's the Jaws ugly Christmas sweater. So, here we go back to this subject again. Smell-proof bags. So the advertisement, one big problem people have during the holidays is traveling with their coriander or their fennel, because they don't want their luggage to smell like parsley or fennel or any kind of spice. So this is a smell-proof bag, so they can transport their herbs and spices without emanating a smell.
So you must be reading a different description than I'm reading. It says one big problem people have during the holidays is dealing with the smell of herbs. Yes, oregano, thyme, rosemary, wafting through the house can make some people very interested in any plant material being burnt. You can avoid raising a big stink with these smell-proof bags.
Funny.
You certainly don't want the smell of our oregano getting out in the house.
Okay. Now this next one is a very practical idea. Shower specs. Need to read that shampoo bottle to make sure that you're not allergic to the ingredients? It used to be you in the shower steam would fog up your reading glasses. The shower specs end a problem that no one knew existed. So they are steam-proof lenses. So you could read things in the shower and not get fogged up.
All right. So I am now going to call Pa on this idea. There is nothing in this world that sells itself as being fog-proof, steam-free, whatnot that works. I have one of those fraud mirrors in my shower because I want to shave with a mirror. But does my fogless mirror not fog up? No. My fogless mirror definitely fogs up.
It went and fogged up.
Right. Yeah. And my son had to wear glasses, and I had to wear glasses when I played sports. You buy this stuff, you spray on the glasses, keeps the fog from happening in the sports goggles. Does it work?
Nay.
No, it does not work. So I defy anyone to find me anything that calls itself steam-free, fog-free that works. And I'm looking at you, shower reading spectacles. I don't think you work.
You've been calling out.
Yes.
There is a Maui Christmas prank gift card. Sure, it looks like your typical Christmas card with the cat on it. It's more fiendish. When the recipient opens it, all they hear is the meow, meow, meow for hours unless the card is destroyed. And glitter will fall asunder onto the floor. So I guess once it's open, it just starts and it can't be stopped. And you watch the awkwardness because you know that person does not want to besmirch the gift given. And it won't stop meowing. And they're put in that awkward position. I'm just going to put this in the other room.
And you can hear it off in the distance go,
meow, meow. Or it's worse yet if it's the meow, 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 meow. That one.
It's like
And then it'll be like 11:30 at night. The party's over. They're going to go to hit the sack, and that thing's still meowing up a storm.
It's like a bit Richard Pryor had about his monkey that escaped. So, we'd hear him in the room. We'd hear him off in the distance.
Rich. Okay. I don't know. That's a pretty mean thing to do to somebody. Okay, so we're back to a recurring theme. These are pop rocks, the kind that you put in your mouth and you crackle, and they, you used to think if you drink a Mountain Dew with them and make your stomach explode, to the urban legend. But this one is pop rocks with cannabis in it. They're called herb rocks. URB.
URB.
Herb, the way that God intended it to be spelled. And but anyway, they're pop rocks, but they're like, infused with THC or cannabis. Let's see. There is a fine list of wines from a winery that is known as the Shoot Show, but it does not say shoot. I forget what episode that kept on coming up. I like one of the early ones.
Show.
Yeah, and that's just the name of the wine. So, nothing special. That's just what it's called. There is a mobile phone pillow.
So what level of laziness do you have to achieve to need a mobile phone pillow?
I have to free my two hands so I can sit in a way that I'm never going to sit in my life while I have this proboscis for my phone that dangles off my chin. Looks like a trunk. Should be putting peanuts in her mouth. But anyway, it's just silliness.
Either a trunk or a blue anaconda that's gone around this person's neck.
I don't know what that sounds like. It just sounds like a product that blue anaconda. All right. Okay. Now this one has some promise. This is a children's book, and it's to the it's just called Passing Gas in Class by Corbin. It's a picture book. It might be a nice holiday tradition to read this book about the hazards of public flatulence. Now, Eric, I know you're about ready to get this on Audible. But yeah, the Passing Gas in Class book. I'm gonna have to look this up at least if I could see now the pictures. I would like to know the literature. Okay. There is the 12 Days of IPAs beer set. So you've heard of the 12 Days of Christmas. Well, this is some microbrewed IPA beer to go with your next one, the AC/DC beer. The band that gave you Shook You All Night Long, but these are their. So I guess I don't know if there's just 4 different cans or if it's 4 different styles of beer. Like an IPA, a porter, a stout, a pilsner.
So Styx has a beer.
Oh yeah, Mr. Ribeiro.
No, whoa, mama.
But well, here we go again. I'm not even like trying to be funny. Is there really this big of a market for cannabis Christmas products?
Apparently so.
Santa had a long night, but these are like Christmas cookies, but they're Christmas cookie shaped, but they are infused with THC or cannabis, which I think is illegal in a lot of states. You're not allowed to make, edibles look like something for children.
Right.
All right. For those of you who need some vintage in a hurry, this is a canvas tote for ladies with a secret wine spigot. Which I'm sorry, it's going to get you arrested in a lot of places.
Is there a way to cool that wine in there?
I'm sure there's like a little pouch for those things you put in your lunchbox. But I know a lot of wines aren't supposed to be chilled. They're supposed to be enjoyed at room temperature.
Right.
There's the Being Weird book. Being weird is a wonderful thing. It's probably just got a bunch of strange anecdotes. And to wrap it all up, the last one, for those of you who have bearded dragons, you could get an elf outfit for your pet bearded dragon.
And again, who doesn't need that? There you go.
I'm trying to guess if that person that is freaked out, by mice and snakes and things like that. But if it came out in an elf costume, would that tone down the fear?
or the person wouldn't know what it was till it got right up on them and would amp up the fear.
That's true. There's an elf come across the floor. I had too many Christmas animals. Oh man. No, I just changed. You changed my mind, man.
I did.
So I think I'd be less afraid of just seeing a lizard, a skink, or something running across my floor. But if it's in an elf costume, I'm afraid it's going to be something from a different dimension. It's like escaped, and that's kind of scary.
It is. All right. Well, Savannah. Yep, you're here right at the end.
But we are still happy you're here.
Absolutely. Guess you can catch up on the release on Friday, or you can go to the Facebook page here in a moment.
Yeah.
It'll
here in a few moments. Yeah, you can just watch us on tape delay, like you're on the West Coast.
YouTube channel, wherever you like. All right. That brings us to the end of episode 119 of the Play It By Ear podcast. All right. I want to remind you that, as I just alluded to, our audio version of the podcast is released every Friday morning at 3 a.m. We are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and the iHeartRadio app. Actually, Spotify, you can listen to it audio version or video now, so either way. Video-wise, in addition to that Spotify feed, you can also go to our YouTube channel, Play It By Ear podcast. We also have a channel on Twitch. Also, search out Play It By Ear podcast there as well. And, of course, archived on Facebook. use the Facebook Live, unless there's some issue with that, which we did have an issue with one. They had a copyright violation and took the thing down. But anywho, social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagrams. We have accounts on each. You can find those links at the website, www.playitbyearpodcast.com. Over there. Try to put my,
Like driving a boat, man.
it is.
Or backing up a boat.
I
That
moved.
just messes with your head.
All right. You can also interact with us via email, admin@playitbyearpodcast.com. You can leave a voice message for us. You can click the link at your audio podcast provider on the iHeartRadio app. You can click on the microphone, which says talk back, and that will leave.
I'm going to try to squeeze
voice
one more
message.
guffaw
Okay.
out of you, Eric. But and I didn't mean to interrupt it, but I had to think of this because, like, I was checking out, last week after our episode from last week dropped, and I always listen to make sure it's cool, and I skipped through. But I about drove off the road because I wonder. I was going to ask you on air all week. Were you earworm singing? Look at this flipping cat. It's a free-loaded piece of crap.
Well, I immediately went down and opened up YouTube and played it for the cat. And my wife said, "Don't listen to him. Don't listen to him."
I still think the funniest line of that is he's a bright orange piece of crap. Like it looks like Garfield, Oh.
Look at
No,
this cat.
he was also besmirching for having accidents in his bed, and it was pretty funny. Oh man.
It was very funny.
All right.
All right. Anything else for the good of the order?
Nope. We will just see you all back next week. Now, Eric and I haven't talked about it,
Well,
but
before you say next week, we got to talk about schedules. Just stay tuned on the social media about the upcoming schedule because there's some.
We'll be around.
Yes, we will be around. So
I'm going to be leaving state for a week.
All right, but yeah, we'll talk about that schedule. We will update you on the social media avenues about the upcoming schedule. So, take us out.
Good night. Farewell. See you next week.
Thanks for listening to the Play It By Ear podcast. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter at Play It By Ear Pod 2, and our website at anchor.fm/Play It By Ear podcast. Thanks again, and join us next time as we play it by ear.